Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I gotta see what I got checked off on my planner for today. I think I did everything again today as well. I didn't really do a lot of laundry, but the plan was to wash my bedding tomorrow. So I did end up washing the dogs, like their bedding stuff, because the one thing I wanted to wash was Charlie's little poof, his little bed that's in here, just because I wanted like everything washed from in here, if that makes sense. Like his bed, like I washed my blanket the other day, you know, just all of the fabrics in my room. I was gonna wash all of them, so I washed his little dog bed and then Bliss's bed from the hallway that she normally sleeps on. So Charlie's is actually drying, and I told you guys too, he's been really weird. Like right now he's totally fine and he'll sleep on my bed, but when I'm in bed he won't lay on the bed with me. And he will though, like during the day, but at night he won't sleep in the bed with me. So I don't know. He's also giving me this really like weird side eye. I don't know if you guys can tell right now, because I keep talking about him. I keep like turning back and looking at him, and then he's like so anyways though, I don't know where he's gonna sleep tonight because his bed is drying still, because it's like that like fabric that you can't really put in the dryer. If not, it like frizzes out kind of, or gets like all like, it's, I don't know, it gets frizzy. Even on low it'll like melt like the fabric or whatever. So I don't wash, or I don't dry it, I let it air dry. But yeah, I don't know, he's gonna have to sleep with me, or he's gonna just sleep on the regular carpet. Like I actually want to see if I don't have his bed in here, if he will sleep in my bed with me, or if he's just been doing that because he has the option to sleep on the floor. But also too, guys, it has been really cold. I don't know why he's choosing not to sleep with me, because honestly, I need a foot warmer. Like it has been really cold. I actually did put my little tiny space heater back on, because this room is probably the second coldest probably room in the house. So I went from having the warmest room in the house to probably having the second coldest room in the house. The coldest room is probably the one next door to me, which is this sunroom, and that is because there's a big sliding glass door back there. But this room is normally also really cold. I think it's because it's the furthest away from the furnace, and also because it's one of the most like exterior rooms. Like I have 2 exterior walls, whereas my old room there's only 1, so it didn't get like the warmth stayed in more, and it was also the closest room to the furnace. But like the living room also too, like it's a big room, but it has got 2 like what's it called, like, you know, like air ducts, like, you know, vents that heat in that room, compared to my room just has 1. And then the, you know, even though again too, like even the like kitchen is open to the like living room, but it has its own like vent in there as well. Plus like it also, if we have like the oven on and stuff like that, it you know, like heats up the house too. That's the thing, is that the other 3 things that I always try and do if we're gonna have really cold weather, like, okay, for example, the weather yesterday and today I think was like 9 degrees as a high or something like that, or maybe yesterday was 11 and today was 9 degrees as a high. I think it's supposed to slowly get a little bit warmer. I don't know what tomorrow looks like, if it's also supposed to be really cold, but by the weekend it's supposed to be, I think, in the like 40s or something like that, or 50s. I think honestly we're supposed to get like really nice weather. So I think this, hopefully this is the last of the cold weather that we're getting, and then it's gonna move into being nice warm, like, you know, hopefully spring weather after that would be really nice. Because like honestly, like last year it was warm at the end of February, and then me and Jack started going walking like in March, like I think the mid or beginning of March or something like that, we started walking, and we would go you know, do over our 1.5 miles or whatever it was, or over a mile walk that we did, because it was like, but we started doing it like in March, I think, of like last year, because the weather was so nice. Like there was a couple days where I was in shorts in March like walking because, and that was like at like 8 o'clock in the morning, because it was so warm. But yeah, so I'm hoping that it's gonna be as warm this year and warm up quickly. But you know, like there's still snow on the ground, and like that's what's funny to me is that there's snow on the ground. It's gonna be like 50 degrees then by this weekend, like the snow is going to be gone. But the thing that I always try and do when it gets really cold out is, again, if I have anything to cook in the oven, I will always try and use the oven, like prioritize the oven, because the oven helps heat up the house. Also, I always try and run the dishwasher, because even though you don't really realize it, the dishwasher does put out some heat as well. Even if it is kind of just a little bit of like steam heat from like the, you know, the water heating up in there and stuff like that. I do notice it. Like sometimes I'll walk by, and because our dishwasher's right next to the oven, sometimes I'll walk by and think the oven's on, and I'm like, oh no, like that's just the, you know, like the dishwasher. And it, like I said, it's not that noticeable, but I'll think like, oh, somebody just used the oven and like turned it off and it's like cooling down then or something like that. But I realize, oh no, it's actually like the heat kind of that comes off from the dishwasher. The other thing I always do, because our laundry room, again, I explained to you guys where all the vents are in the house, but our laundry room does not have any vents. It also has a side door, and it's kind of drafty. In addition to that too, like even though the like furnace is in there, the furnace doesn't get like that hot even when it's on. You know, it basically just pushes all the hot air out. So the laundry room is normally one of the other coldest rooms in the house. I will make the argument that yes, it is probably colder than the bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms that I mentioned, but it's also like not like a room that we're, you know, typically in all that often. The one thing I always do too, like in that room, to make sure that it does stay warm, is I always try and run the dryer. So I will make sure that I have laundry going and have the dryer, you know, like going as well, to make sure that it, because it does heat up and it heats up the laundry room pretty good amount. And that's why though I try and do the opposite things in the summer, and when it's really hot outside, I try and not use the oven as much. Again, the dishwasher, it's not that bad and it's like not that noticeable, but yeah, I will try and run like dishes either at night or in the morning. And the same thing too with the dryer especially, but the dishwasher's not like that, like I said, that noticeable. But it does also help too, like I guess with the pipes and stuff like that too, like you are supposed to, I don't really know what it is. I know like to keep your pipes from freezing, you are supposed to like sometimes leave like let like the faucets drip and stuff like that. I think that's to keep the water circulating so that the pipes don't freeze. That's when it's like really, really cold. I think, I don't know for sure, but I thought that was what I heard before. I don't know if that's true or like a wives' tale or something like that, but again, the one big thing that I will also try and do is if I know it's going to be a really, really hot day, I will try and make sure that if I'm doing laundry on that day, it's either in the morning or at night when it's not super, super hot out, because then it's, you know, like it's normally cooler in the evenings or in the early morning. And that's the same thing too, like when I go work out in the gardens, I always try and make sure that I'm like up early in the morning to go and do that, because I hate being out there when it's like, you know, like noon, high noon, and the, you know, the sun is blaring down on me. The absolute worst is doing it in the driveway, because it's on blacktop too. Like we have the one flower bed that runs in between ours and our neighbor's driveway, and that is the absolute worst. And there's no shade there either. So like when I have to do that, like garden bed, I honestly normally I'm always like I should just split it up into doing it 2 different days, but I'm always like no, I'm just gonna keep going, and like I end up doing it the whole day long. And I do the entire bed, and I'm out there for like forever, and just like normally again to dripping sweat, like, and it might not even be on that hot of a day, it's like 70 degrees out, maybe 80 or something like that, but again too, I keep working until like, it's like 12 o'clock and it's hot outside by that point. Like I said, in that spot in particular. The other places in the yard like are somewhat okay because they're not like in direct sunlight. Like sometimes like the one side, like the fence kind of like shades a little bit, or like the house at certain points in the day, so like I can kind of time that up. But like that driveway, it is the absolute worst. It is horrible. But yeah, right now I don't have to worry about that. Like I said, it's freezing cold. It's so funny to me because like living in the Midwest too, when you think about it, it's like I'm you know, it's so cold right now and you're just thinking about like, oh my goodness, I need to be bundled up and under blankets and like all this kind of stuff. And then your mind doesn't even go to, there's a complete other extreme that we also experience where it's just that hot. And like, you're like, oh my gosh, clothes are just disgusting on me right now. You know, you're just dripping sweat. Like, how can you even fathom wearing a sweatshirt at any point in the year compared to how hot it is then? And like right now I'm like, how on earth could I be wearing a tank top, you know, like in this same, you know, realm of like, you know, living here. It's, you know, it's kind of funny. But anyways though, I am going to take a shower and get to bed, so I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all versus the shiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.